proud. So they torture their projas. Who should rule? How should rule? What is the way one should behave? How he should act for the benefit of everything? All are defined in a state. Suppose in India, so it is defined in constitution. So who will obey the constitutions? All the citizens. How they will be guided, or if they disobey, how they will be punished? There is a system, like lawyer. Police will catch and bring them to court. In the court there will be lawyers. So among these lawyers, those who are senior and advanced, they will be judge. Judge are also lawyer in their previous assignments. First they become lawyers, and gradually they become judge. So judge is the who is the advanced in lawyer. Among lawyer, he becomes judge. So lawyers are interpreter of constitutions. So they present constitutions in front of the judge with various arguments to define the meaning of the law. And there are lawmakers also. Lawmakers are like these MP, MLA. So they are the lawmakers. Lawmakers make the laws. Lawyers, they present the laws with various arguments. What is the meaning of these laws? How the laws should be applied. And the judge is the one who actually give the meaning of the law and finally give a judgment. Similar situation was also there in old days. 12. The constitution to live a life with a meaning and purpose is explained in Veda Shastras. And the Veda, which you may say as the constitutions of the whole world, is given by Supreme Personality of God, Lord Krishna, that came to a disciplic succession and compiled by Vyasadeva. In the advent of Kali Yuga, just before advent of Kali Yuga, Vyasadeva wrote all the scripture in a compiled form. Earlier it was in Shruti form. Shruti form means it was just memorized by the Guru Parampara system. They were able to remember everything. So the same constitution or the Vedanta, the Veda, the knowledge of the scriptures were presented by Brahmanas. Like lawyers explains constitutions. Similarly, Brahmana explains the Vedas. Brahmana means they know Brahma. Brahma janati iti Brahmana. When somebody born in a family of Brahmana, so he is called as a Brahma Bandhu, means he is in relationship with a Brahmana. But if you first take the sanskara, Dvija means he has taken twice birth. Second birth. One birth is not the spiritual birth. Second birth is the spiritual birth, where he accepts brahmacharya life and cultivate or read by obeying the spiritual master, by serving the spiritual master. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. So that phase is called that he is taking a rebirth. So that is called Dvija. Sanskarat Dvijam Bhavet. Then he read scriptures. When he reads scriptures, then he can be called as Vipra, who is reading scriptures. And those who are conversant in scriptures, who are experts and who knows Brahman, Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. So those are the people who can guide the entire society, whole world, to be abide by the principles explained in Veda Shastras. If Veda Shastras are followed, then everybody will be happy in the manner of dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Moksha is finally liberations. Normally, people are running after some purushartha. These are the basic purushartha: dharma, artha, kama. Dharma means, why dharma is considered as first purushartha, that everyone should abide by the religious principles. One should not act in a way that is called adharma. So, dharma is the one which is enacted by Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dharma Sakyat Bhagavat Pranitam, and is explained in Veda Shastras and is presented by Brahmanas. If dharma is not followed properly, then what will happen? People will be not God conscious. Dharma sonishthita pumsan vishwaksana katha suja notpadayate yadi ratim sramayevahi kevalam. So such people who are not following religious principles, they will be godless people, godless society, and they can act in the mode of ignorance and passion. Nastatmana alpabuddhaya prabhavanti ugra karmana te jagatahita. So they may perform ugra karma. Ugra karma means activities which is destroying in nature, with arrogance and pride, with illusion. They can do any kind of terrorism or tyranny activities that troubles others. Even they destroy the world. So people have to abide by dharma. And if they are abide by dharma, there should be actual pleasing happen to Supreme Personality of Godhead. If people are abide by dharma, then there will be actual happiness. They can attain actual happiness. And if they do not abide by dharma, they neither will become happy nor Supreme Personality of Godhead can be happy. Because happiness can only be derived with a relationship with God. Nasti bhava ajuktasya nacha ajuktasya bhavana nacha abhavayatah shanti asantasya kutah sukham. If the sambandha or the relationship with Supreme Personality of Godhead is forgotten, and any activities one perform or any amount of so-called happiness or sense objects one may get, he will never be happy. Just like a fish cannot be happy without water, the person cannot be happy without bhakti. That is the natural, just like the natural environment or ecosystem for fish is water. Similarly, the natural ecosystem for a living being is that he should remain in his relationship with God and execute devotional service with that feeling, that bhava, that relationship. And if that is missing, then he cannot be happy. So these people who are under the modes of Raja and Tama, who are not guided by religious principles, because religious principles sometimes or most of the times are misinterpreted. So they say that this is my dharma. To feed my family, I can kill. Because feeding my family is the dharma. But killing others is not a dharma if I am feeding my family. So this kind of wrong conceptions are getting developed because of not knowing the religious principles. And because of not having the sanskara and the rules of obeying a Brahmana, so that he can understand the essence of following a religious life. The objective behind doing all these things is that they will become happy, but they are not becoming happy. Yet they have no vichara. Because of overpowered by the illusory influence of Raja and Tama, passion and ignorance, they are completely unaware about the subjects of happiness. And an expert Brahmana can present him what is the real subject of happiness. Not only present, but also let him experience such higher degree of happiness in a manner of living a life of sanskara by following the path of Vedic principles and wisdom. That is the role of a Brahmana. So in this way, if we say that, and we do not facilitate a Brahmana to present this conception or this Vedic knowledge to each and everyone, how people will accept it? So it is the role of the ruler or the king who can give this ruling to the citizens that they should abide by the principles presented by these Brahmanas. But at present age, you can see neither we have qualified Brahmanas, nor we have any people who can listen to these Brahmanas. So here the need is that we develop Brahmanas, and also we develop the culture of people listens to those Brahmanas. And that is explained here, that only way that we can develop first class Brahmana is Kali Kale Namarupe Krishna Avatara Krishna Sakti Binana He Tara Pravartana. Without Krishna's energy, without the energy of God, we cannot be successful in presenting this dharma, presenting this dharma or saving this world from this kind of situation. Only God can do, and His energy can do. Krishna has Sandhini Shakti te tara chari parichaya, Nama Rupa Guna Karma. So holy name is non-different from Krishna, and especially in this age of Kali, Nama is the most powerful, and Krishna has all energies. Namna Makari Bahudha Nija Sarvasakti. All of his energies are invested in the holy name. Tatra Arpita Niyamita Smaranana Kala. So it is required that we surrender. Tatra Arpita. We need to surrender to holy name. Take the chanting of holy name. Smarane no Kala. And there is no bound of time, place, circumstances. Any place, anywhere, and any time you can take up the chanting of the holy name. And Krishna Shakti Vinatara Nahe Pravartana. So this kind of religious principles cannot be established among the human being without the energy of Krishna. And that energy of Krishna, all of the energy of Krishna, Nija Sarva Shakti, Namna Makari Bahuda, Nija Sarva Shakti. All of his Krishna's energy are there present in the holy name. So gradually, by this culture of Sankirtan, chanting of holy name, we can develop Vaishnavas. And Vaishnavas, Koti Brahmana te Eko Vaishnava Sreshta. Among crores of Brahmana, one Vaishnava is more pure and powerful. So it's Brahmanda Tarite Sakti Dhare Jane Jane. Such a Vaishnava who are pure devotees are capable of delivering entire Brahmanda, like Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Maharaj, Sri Sripad Maharaj. They have converted the whole one world into the movement by the movement of Krishna consciousness, so that they are now following this path of Krishna consciousness. So that is the way that we can build a life of Krishna consciousness among people, and they can be delivered from the nescience. At that time, when Parsuram came, the king or the royal order, as per Chaturvarna system, who is supposed to facilitate Brahmana to present the science of religious principles among the people, were become so dustavir, means so tyrannous, that they were not obeying Brahmana, and they were even acting with modes of passion and ignorance, troubling Brahmanas. Religious principles are not supported. Here it is mentioned that even though they had not committed great sins, not that great sins, but because of not maintaining these religious principles, it was so troublesome that the earth is burdened. When religious principles is not followed, then the earth is burdened. When irreligiosity causes so much pain among the other living creatures, like by killing the animals, eating their meat, and all other irreligious principles like no proper association among men and women, there is no rule, and they do illicit affairs. So these kind of adharmas, gambling, intoxications, everywhere that prevails, so that deteriorates the environment which should be conducive to cultivate Krishna consciousness, like Satya Yuga. It doesn't mean to become very much conducive to tapasya, austerity. So Lord incarnate again to maintain the world, become conducive to cultivate Krishna consciousness. That was the reason Parsuram killed all those Kshatriyas who were supposed to maintain dharma, but acting exactly opposite to their principles. Dashu Prayisu Rajisu, and that is the symptom here in this age of Kali. Even though these Kshatriyas, they are become like they are lawmakers, but they should be supported by the ministers. In like king is the ultimate lawmaker. However, king is supported by the ministers, and all the ministers are Brahmanas. Even during Chandragupta, Chanakya was the minister, was a Brahmana. It was also followed a recent, maybe 1000 years ago, until the world was mostly Mughal Empire, last 400, 500 years, Mughal Empire captured, and the principles were not followed. It mostly overpowered by tamas and rajas, and such unclean mentalities are called mlecha mentalities. Mlecha means no cleanliness, and that way these standards of the people who are not maintaining dharmas, who are overpowered by ignorance and passion, become the king and the Rajanya Rupina. Rajanya Rupina means king's messenger or king's policeman or tax collector, etc. When these people who are called Rajanya Rupina are not following religious principles and especially called mlechas, they actually do corruptions. Prajaste bhakshayisyanti. They eat or they swallow the peoples. So that is what happening in this age of Kali. Those who are in various positions of government, if they are not pure, so they will do corruptions, and that's what happening. So many places corruption is there. We do not get anything happen without paying them some money. And that is the reason that who is taking the money is not happy, who is giving the money is not happy. Everywhere unhappiness prevails. So happiness cannot be established without dharma being followed. Not only dharma being followed, but also people should know the meaning and purpose of life and have a relationship with God. Should act with devotions, then only there is a feeling with God, and with that feeling one can become happy. And our goal should be to make this world convinced about the subject that how one can become happy. And who do this duty is the dearmost servant of Krishna, and he can definitely go back Godhead. It is guaranteed that he can go back Godhead, who works to make whole world, other people become happy. That is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita 18.68 sloka. Bhakti mai param krita labhati tadanantaram. जो idam गुह्यतम मद्भक्तेषु अभिधास्यति भक्तिमयि param krita labhati tadanantaram. One should find the suitable persons who are having some austerity in their life, tapaskaya, and those who are devotee, na abhaktaya, na atapaskaya, na cha asusru sabe, those who are envious to Krishna. One has to be devoted to Krishna. So like this, those who are having a Shraddha is in a clear definition of the Bhagavad Gita, that they should not be envious to Krishna, they should be devoted to Krishna, there should be some sort of austerity in their life. In that way, when one is interested to listen about Krishna, we may explain them about the glories of Krishna through the process of chanting Nam Sankirtan. Then he can be presented the signs of Krishna consciousness and he will become happy. So that way, one will be rewarded to go back Godhead. So that is the duty of Sankirtan movement by the disciples who are all trained by Sri Prabhupada. Sri Prabhupada also wanted that now there is a limit here and we cannot explain this to all people who are not having proper Shraddha being developed in them. We cannot explain them. Then what to do? That's why Prabhupada said that who are not austere, who are not devotee, who are envious to Krishna, so all these people, numbers are 99.5%. 0.5% you may see who are having all these qualities together, who are austere, who are devoted, who are engaged in devotional service, and who are not envious of Krishna. So to them we can explain about the religious processes and we can attempt to make them execute first-class devotional service in Krishna consciousness so that they can gradually become pure devotee. Then Prabhupada said that this population is very less. Then I have to do something else. So he ordered Dr. T.D. Singh, so Sripad Maharaj, that now you present the science of Krishna consciousness. So scientifically, we can present this, not directly speaking about first-class devotional service. We can first develop the faith which is lacking in them. Shraddha. And that is also ninth offense. If somebody is not having Shraddha, you start speaking about Krishna. So that is offense. One will not progress in Krishna consciousness by doing such kind of whimsical preaching. That is rejected. One should not do whimsical preaching to speak about Krishna to among anybody. If you go to speak this directly to Mohammedan or Christians who are completely envious, first you have to develop a faith in them. They may be Mohammedan and Christian. If they are able to develop faith in Krishna by some reason, then he may speak. So that is their previous life then. Whether they are Mohammedan and Christian in their old days, but now they have developed a Shraddha for Krishna, then you can talk to them. And Hindus also, there are in name only Hindu, still they become envious to Krishna. So there are restrictions that we cannot speak about Krishna to anybody directly, and that will be offensive. But you can do Sankirtan, you can do chanting of holy name. So gradually that will change. Sankirtan is not prohibited. So it is not said that you will not do chanting or you will not do Sankirtan in the street. Prithivite achijate nagaradigram sarvata prachara haiva mora divyana. That is the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That everywhere and every place the chanting of holy name may be presented. So Prabhupada desired Bhakti Vedanta Institute, who will scientifically present this with their science philosophy. Some are philosophical in the mind, some are scientific in their mind. With science philosophy and darsana, the doctrines, various doctrines, people are interested to know certain things. And utilizing their path, Bhaktivedanta Institute can systematically present these, and gradually a faith being visible in them in due course of time. And once there is a faith, then they can take up Krishna consciousness. And it is the most desired mission of Srila Prabhupada. You meditate, you will understand that why this meaning is so deep. It's not well understood, but Bhaktivedanta Institute scientists should take this seriously and all should cultivate work in this domain so seriously, and going back Godhead is guaranteed. Means that 18.68 sloka confirms that. Hare Krishna. Exceeded time with it. Okay, 8:20.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandatam, thank you. Thank you for the class. I would like to invite our participant devotees who have any question, please ask Prabhuji. New science are pure science and gross science. How to understand this?
Difference between new science, pure science, and gross science. Okay. New science is that science were mostly objective when they accept the subjectivity and study about consciousness, and that also incorporate the thoughts. Like when you create hypothesis, you put your thoughts from various domains. You read many books, you may read philosophy also. Similarly, one should take from scriptures, Vedic literatures. So by taking wisdom from Vedanta, in Western world, they say Western scientists who are mostly, materialistic, means only see from the perception-based, empirical evidences. So they say Eastern are having more evidences from spiritual perspective or Vedantic perspective. So Eastern thoughts are more powerful. So inclusion of Western and Eastern thought are new science. Like both empirical evidences and the mythological, in their term mythological, or the spiritual evidences, spiritual principles. So by inclusion of the both of the field, it will be called new science. The new science include the teachings from Vedanta as well as the present science. Gross science. Gross science is the science which we see as gross, as whole, means together is gross science. So new science is more toward gross science.
Engaged in passion and ignorance, so citizens have to suffer. So we are. It's very practical. We can see our in daily life what is happening around us. So this also shows that Bhagavatam has a lot of information and it explains the behavior, the condition of the community as a whole, to the individual person, community, country-wise, everything is explained in Bhagavatam. And what is explained, that is happening, we can see.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So I need to add that the importance of Krishna consciousness is very, very important, very, very much. Because until unless the leaders, they are not real brahmanas, then there is no possibilities of having a good life. So it's very important to spread the message of God consciousness to all the people. It is the utmost importance, and now
utmost urgent, because by making a Vaishnava, you are making 1 crore Brahmana together. It's as good as making 1 crore Brahmana. If we make many Vaishnavas with our effort, then our progress will be very fast. And that is the ultimate objective.
Thank you, Prabhu.
श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, गुणवरा श्रीपाद की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत समस्त गौर भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर
जय।
प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।
हरि बोल। श्री करोड़दास आनंद प्रभु की जय हो। Thank you all the devotees, participants, senior Vaishnavas, Rajas. Hare Krishna Dandat.